round of debates wrapped up, the mainstream media is rushing to Joe Biden's rescue. They insist President Trump refused to condemn white supremacists. OAN did some digging into President Trump's statements from the past, and now we want to let you see for yourself what the president really has to say on this issue. You won't hear these sound bites from the mainstream media, but One American News believes it's important to deliver just the facts so that you can decide where you stand on these critical issues.
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups? Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups? Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups? Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups?
He's yet wants to condemn white supremacy, the neo-Nazis. He hasn't condemned the darn thing.
You've got David Duke just joined, a bigot, a racist, a president.
I'm not looking to repudiate David Duke.
David Duke, and local calls are out again, the white supremacist movement supporting you. Do you have any words for that?
Well, I disavow David Duke endorsed me. Okay. All right, I disavow, okay?
When we looked at it and looked at the question, I disavow David Duke. So I disavow David Duke all weekend long on Facebook, on Twitter, and obviously it's never enough.
So are you prepared right now to make a clear and unequivocal statement renouncing the support of all white supremacists?
Of course I am. Of course I am.
When Chris joined, we had a news conference, and they asked me the exact same question. I said, I disavow. I disavowed then. I disavowed today on ABC with George Stephanopoulos. I disavowed again.
David Duke is a bad person who I disavowed on numerous occasions over the years.
I totally disavow the Ku Klux Klan. I totally disavow David Duke. Ultimately, he got to the Ku Klux Klan, which obviously I'm going to disavow.
I reject David Duke, rejected David Duke. I rejected the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan.
What David Duke is saying to his supporters and followers, vote for Donald Trump. White supremacists are saying, vote. Do you want those votes?
No, I don't want them, and I don't want him to say it.
You don't want the supporters?
No, I don't want it.
What do you think of white supremacists, by the way?
I don't like any group of hate.
David Duke announced his Senate candidacy, claiming your agenda.
Are you ready before you ask the question?
Newt Gingrich said every Republican should repudiate this guy.
I did,
what it takes.
and I do. Rebuked. Is that okay? Rebuked.
Review.
Done.
Done.
Do you want white supremacists to vote for you?
No, I don't at all. Not at all.
His campaign is denouncing a show of support from the KKK's official newspaper, as in the Ku Klux Klan.
In the same New York Times interview, he denounced white supremacists. He denounced the neo-Nazis who support him.
Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists. And you have people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. I spoke out forcefully against hatred, bigotry, and violence, and strongly condemned the neo-Nazis, the white supremacists, and the KKK.
President Donald Trump signed a congressional joint resolution that condemns white supremacy, neo-Nazis, and other hate groups.
In one voice, our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy. Any group of hate, I don't like it. Any group of hate, whether it's white supremacy, whether it's any other kind of supremacy, whether it's antifa, whether it's any group of hate, I am very concerned about it, and I'll do something about it.
I was concerned when I listened to Joe Biden try to claim that Antifa was not a group.
House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy is rejecting Biden's accusations of racism against President Trump. Today, McCarthy says President Trump is opposed to any group that commits political violence, which includes both Antifa and the KKK. He adds the president views both groups as domestic terror organizations. McCarthy also reiterated the president does not approve of alleged right-wing violence, but he stressed far-left groups pose a greater threat.
I think the president has been very clear that he's against anybody for committing violence in the streets. If the question is, would you denounce it? And the answer is yes, he did that. If the action prior was naming a terrorist organization, the KKK and Antifa, simply that, not only did his words speak it, but his actions have taken it.
McCarthy adds it's it's the Democrats who have failed to denounce political violence committed by radical left antagonists. In last night's debate, there was some discussion between President